Hi everybody! I am going to be doing a tag today. I'm so excited. It's been a while since I've done a tag and this one is fun. So hi, I'm Talia. I love books, I love bandanas. I'm so happy you're at my channel today. The tag I'm doing today is called the In and or Out tag. And it was originally by Rick McDonald, done quite a while ago, I believe. And I was tagged by Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot. And I love her so much and I love her channel so much. And Sandy, thank you so much for tagging me today. So it's 25 questions, but you basically just say if the thing in the prompt is in or out. So we'll probably be able to go through this pretty quickly. Okay, prompt number 1, reading the last page first. Obviously out. I don't know who does that. That's just a really weird thing to do. Prompt number 2, enemies to lovers. I'm gonna say out for this one, partially because I don't really read a lot of romance, and also because it just sounds kind of predictable, and yeah, it's just out for me. Okay, prompt number 3, dream sequences. I'm gonna say out too, because half the time it just stresses me out. Like if you're going along and you're like, oh wait, I can't believe this is happening, and then it's like, oh, it was just a dream, and you're like, well, that was stupid, you know? I'm sure there are instances in which it is done well, but I'm gonna say not feeling that either. Wow, I'm starting this kind of negatively. Let's see what's next. Okay, love triangles. Oh man, I initially, when I heard this prompt, I said out, but then Sandy, when she was doing this, mentioned the love triangle in Twilight, and I was like, no, actually, that bugged me too. I wanted her to just make up her mind and make the right choice. Which wasn't the choice she made, by the way. So I'm gonna say out too. All right, cracked spines. So I will say not a deal breaker. I would not buy a book with a cracked spine. If you've watched my channel a while, you know I love getting used books. I love going to Goodwill and finding good books to read, but I love when they're in good condition. And I try to usually, when I'm buying eBay books, just to buy like good or like very good condition. I don't usually buy acceptable. If a spine happened to break when I was reading it, that would be okay. So I guess I'll say in for this one. Like I wouldn't chuck the book, you know what I mean? Like, so in. There we go, we have an in. Okay, continuing on. Number 6 is back to my small town. I'm gonna say in. I think interesting things can happen when you go back to small towns. Actually, the book I just read, the NetGalley book I read last month, What Lies in the Woods, that was a back to small town book, and I really liked that, so in. Okay. Number 7, monsters are real people. I generally don't like to read books about monsters, so I'm gonna say out. Okay, no paragraph breaks. No, that would drive me crazy. Actually, the book I'm reading on NetGalley right now has like all sorts of editing problems because it's the free copy that then you can get sent over to Kindle, and like on every couple pages there's like a whole sentence that doesn't have any spaces in it. It's driving me crazy. So no, any weird formatting like really is a challenge for me to read, and that would include no paragraph breaks. So out. Multi-generational sagas, yes, in. I like seeing how things happen in certain generations and how the effects trickle down into the generations that follow. I really like books like that. Homegoing by Yagasi, I really liked that, and that was a multi-generational long saga following 2 family lines, so that was a great one. So in. 10, rereading. In. I don't do it a lot just because of time and so many good books, but I am for it, so in. Let's see. Artificial intelligence. Yeah, if it's done well and not cheesy, in. Let's see. Drop caps. So that, for those of you who don't know, Sandy, thank you for looking it up for me when you did your video. That's when like there's a large capital at the beginning of the chapter and it like drops down into a couple sentences. So I'm gonna say in. I think that's cute. So yes, that's good. Happy endings is number 13. Yes, who doesn't love a happy ending? Like, I don't love when books just leave me feeling really depressed, and sometimes it's necessary, but I like when it wraps up nicely too. So yes, happy. Plot points that only converge at the end. I'm gonna say in. And I'm gonna say I actually kind of really like that. I like when there's two separate plots going on and you can't figure out how it's going to tie together. And then at the end, it like all comes together like a nice pretty package for you. I think I really like that. So definitely in for that one. Which number are we on? Oh, detailed magic system. I'm gonna say at this point in time, probably out. I haven't read enough fantasy to get really into detailed magic systems, but I don't think learning a tremendous amount of information like that would be something I would enjoy at this point in time. So I'm gonna say out for that one. Classic fantasy races. So these are things like goblins and wizards and trolls and the classic things from fantasy stories. I'm gonna say out. I'm gonna say, I don't know, I'm just not interested in that. If I'm reading a fantasy novel, I want it to kind of be new and exciting and engaging and have creative things in it, not the same characters that we've known since childhood. So out for that one. Okay, so number 17 is Unreliable Narrators. I'm gonna say out. I'm gonna say I like to know that my narrator is telling me the truth and that they know what's going on. And maybe I just haven't read enough good books that have unreliable narrators. So if you have suggestions and you want to challenge that one for me, I would accept that. So leave a comment below if you have a good book with an unreliable narrator for me. Okay, moving along. Number 18 is Evil Protagonists. Yes, I love when the book makes you fall in love with the bad guy. Man, I had one that I wanted to talk about, but I cannot remember it now. So that's it, I guess. In for Evil Protagonist. 19, The Chosen One. So this is when like the person in the book is like destined to be the hero, like a Harry Potter type person who it's like, you're the chosen one, you're gonna save us. Yes, in, obviously, love Harry Potter. Amari and the Night Brothers is kind of like that too. Like Amari is like the chosen one, you know, she's gonna be the hero. Yeah, I like, especially if it's someone that you can like get behind and you really love, and yes, the chosen one is in. Okay, number 20 is when the protagonist dies. I'm gonna say out. I just don't like when my main character dies and then you feel all sad and then it like tries to make another character really important and like be the main character and you're just like, no, bring back my protagonist, like bring them back. So out. Really long chapters is number 21. I'm gonna say out. I like short chapters. I like when you're feeling like you're accomplishing a lot, like when they're like 3 or 4 pages and there's like, oh, I just read 10 chapters and it took me 20 minutes. I like short chapters, especially when they change viewpoints. I like it to move more quickly than that. It's hard when it's like a chapter that's 50 pages and no one likes to stop in the middle of a chapter, so then you feel like you have to commit a lot of time to it. And in the phase I'm in right now, in motherhood with young kids, it's just not always easy to have big chunks of time. So long chapters are out. French flaps. So those are when the flaps are weird and there's like 2 double flaps on the cover, and Sandy showed an example and I did not know what those were before, but they're out for me. They're weird. I don't see the point. We don't need those. They're out. Okay, number 23, Deckled Edges. I hate Deckled Edges. I just don't like them at all. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they feel. Like you can't flip the pages nicely. Like they're just trying to be cool. Like they're just not. No, Deckled Edges are out. Signed copies by the author. Those are in. I like having a signed copy. My Buzz Aldrin book is signed. I have another astronaut memoir that is signed. I got something from Goodwill recently. No, it was from eBay recently, and I didn't even know it was going to be signed, but it came with like a signed card inside, and I just thought that was really cool. There's something about knowing like the author wrote this and they held this in their hands. Especially my space ones. I'm like, Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon and he signed this book, especially that one. I actually stood in front of him and he signed it for me. So that like brings back a memory for me, you know? So yes, signed by the author are totally in. Dog earring pages, number 25, obviously out. The only people that dog ear pages are like probably serial killers. It's just not like, who would damage a book like that except for someone truly evil. Yeah, I'm just kidding. If you dog ear pages, I'm sure you're a wonderful individual and have no plans to kill anybody, but just know no one is gonna want to buy that book from you ever. Okay, chapter titles instead of numbers. This is the last one. I'm gonna say in. Sometimes they're really lame. Like, I don't like when the chapter titles are just lame, like that they're just trying to throw in something just to be like, oh, it has a title. Like in that case, just put the numbers. But sometimes they're really well thought out. And I like when I'm reading a book and I read the chapter, and then sometimes the chapters names are so clever that at the end of the chapter I'll go back and look and say, what was the name of this chapter? And have like a chuckle about it, or be like, oh, I see where they were going there. So yes, I'm gonna say in. Okay, we're done. That was pretty fun. I liked that tag a lot. I like it when they're kind of plain and simple. You don't have to put too much thought into them. So yes. So now I'm gonna tag two people. I'm gonna tag Maria at Read Find Books and Tatiana at Reading with Tatiana. These channels both came to YouTube kind of around the same time as mine, so we've kind of been growing together. I love their content. I love just who they are as people. They are just two lovely individuals. So I hope you guys want to do this tag if you haven't done it already, because actually I didn't check before I tagged you. So if you have, no worries. But I can't wait to see what your answers are. To all the rest of you, I want to see your answers too, because I really like this tag. So feel free to do this. And yeah, I hope you are having a great day wherever you are. I hope you take some time today to read a good book or two, ponder some of these important book questions, see if they are in or out for you. And if you are having a bad hair day, as always, don't even worry about it. Just wear a bandana. Bye.